Tonight on One News, she fought for them and countless others. Now Helen Kelly's supporters gather at her bedside, vowing to continue her work. Sick, now angry, Havelock North residents still wanting answers on water contamination. That insult added to injury. A sword-wielding Iraqi housewife waging a one-woman war on ISIS. And he conquered the mountains, so just how far off is a world title shot for unbeaten heavyweight Joseph Parker? Those stories and more at 6.
Hello, quite an active front made it quite a soggy Sunday to some parts of the country. Some of us managed some sunshine, and we run away through the next couple of days. Typical spring weather, some sunshine, some rain, very strong gusty winds as well. All the details coming up. Right now, it's 6 o'clock.
We want to keep her name alive and her legacy alive by doing this for her.
The promise made by those who Helen Kelly helped the most as they rally around the fighter for workers' rights. Anger boils up again at Havelock North. Residents rail at being sold their own water by foreign companies, basically sourcing it for free. The sword-brandishing, revenge-driven Iraqi housewife striking fear into the hearts of ISIS fighters. And
I don't care what the judges come up with at the end of this round. Dimitrienko quit.
A controversial conclusion to Joe Parker's big bout was the massive Russian milking it. Kia ora, good evening. Fighting for others, often in their darkest moments, is what Helen Kelly did best. Now it's her turn to receive help. The families of those killed in the Pike River mine and in our forests are rallying around the leading trade unionist as she struggles with terminal cancer. And as Ryan Boswell reports, they've made her a special promise.
Helen Kelly's been in this Wellington hospice for just over a week.
Hey, how is Donna?
Slowly losing her battle with cancer, Helen's mates are right there day and night to talk and listen or to lend a hand.
The issue at the moment is rationing the visits because she's got too many friends.
Of course, this lifelong unionist has dedicated herself to helping others, often in their darkest moments. Marianne has travelled from Tokoroa. Helen spent years helping her family fight for justice after her husband Charles, a forestry worker, was killed in the bush.
Yeah, she became a really important part of my family. My children, that's their auntie Helen Kelly. So to see her the way that we've seen her now is just terrible.
Also in town, some of the families of those who died in the Pike River mine tragedy 6 years ago.
We were going to lose one of New Zealand's finest women.
Treasure.
She is an absolute angel, very much so. And
she's given us time. It doesn't matter what time of the day or night. If we text her or email her, within minutes she's emailing or texting back.
She gives you the strength to carry on when you're just absolutely falling apart, and she builds that courage back up to such a point where she gives you that opportunity to keep fighting for what's right.
Now these families are picking up Helen Kelly's mantle. They've set up a support group named Killed at Work Whānau Support to help those who go through what they've been through.
And we want to keep her name alive and her legacy alive by doing this for her. We want to pay back, give back to what she's given us.
And we will be there for these families.
Helen Kelly's in full support. Almost 300 people have died on the job in the last 6 years.
So there's a lot of heartbreak around the whole thing. And that's why we want this group, so that people don't miss out. I don't know, people have started to be hurt again. And you've got to keep the pressure up, you know.
Her mates committed to carrying on her hard work. Ryan Boswell, One News.
To breaking news now, and a number of homes in the Waikato town of Huntly have been flooded as a major weather system marches south. The fire service is responding to multiple calls of flooding on Riverside Road, Mary Road and parts of Great South Road. Water at depths of around 50 centimetres has forced the urgent closure of several roads. There are reportedly a number of cars at risk of being washed into the river. And these still images of a funnel cloud were taken in Huntly a short time ago. Funnel clouds develop from severe thunderstorms and have the potential to turn into tornadoes. Fortunately, this one didn't. It was part of a weather system that moved across Waikato this afternoon. Locals told One News there's torrential rain right now hitting the region. And the same system has dumped 40 millimetres of rain on the Auckland region, flooding homes and causing minor damage. And the result has sent Parker's promotional stocks sky high.
There's a lot to discuss over the next sort of few days, and we'll just see how we go. The situation's fluid, to say the least.
Samoyeds, Nixon and Sakari from Nelson are two of the 1,700 dogs at the show from 126 different breeds. A mark of our love affair with man's best friend.
Only America's the only country that has more dogs than New Zealanders.
And we're prepared to spoil them.
The research we've done tells us that people, the public generally, are spending more on health and treats for their dogs.
Some are extra special, like North Auckland farm dog Luca Logan, winning the Life-Saving Award for barking to alert his owners to one family member's diabetic coma and their son's sudden hemorrhage. He saved his life.
Coming up on One News, her family members were killed. Now she's got her own militia and it's out for revenge. How this self-described Iraqi housewife earned a spot at the top of an ISIS hit list. And as borders tighten, people smugglers are finding new ways of trying to reach Europe, including this death-defying ride clinging to a train's undercarriage and selling a Kiwi classic in London. A duo known as the Meringue Girls are taking Pavlova into peak perfection. Welcome back. She calls herself a housewife, but she's been a fighter for years, battling first against Al. And Dan's here now with more detail on that Caribbean megastorm.
Quite a monster of a storm.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, it's sitting there, and it's the first one, if you can believe it, of Category 5 since 2007. Take a look at this. This is the swirl of cloud, and there it was. It was a Category 5 last night. The centre of the eye there, of course, and that red little dot churning away in the very warm bath-like waters. It'll be getting a bit more sheer as we come back to the maps. I'll show you what it will do. It's going to be slowly moving its way towards the west, northwest, and then churning and putting its sights on Jamaica and, in particular, Haiti as it continues to track its way north over the course of tonight in through Monday, and it's Monday evening when we see it moving in across Haiti and then eventually across parts of Cuba as a Category 3. And then, of course, tracking to the east of Florida, perhaps the Bahamas, and where it goes after that, nobody knows, but it's something certainly to watch. We had some fine weather across parts of New Zealand today, down south, some sunshine. Not all the case, though, of course. Look at that funnel cloud there. This is from the complex, the thunderstorm complex near Huntly through the afternoon, about 4. Same storm that moved through Hamilton, by the way, around 5. That was our main front there. And just notice, bit of convergence, still the upper energy, and one little dot. That was a thunderstorm complex. But all of this, unstable air, showers and storms still to come through. How did temperatures fare? Well, for some, 14 for Invercargill, further north, 20 degrees for Christchurch, further north from that. For the second day in the row, the warm spot for the country, Whanganui at 21, and elsewhere, Gisborne managed 20. Continuing north, there are lots of teens, even a few spots close to 20, up towards the far north there, 19 for Kaitaia. Outside right now, how does it look? You had the rain, of course, in the morning in Auckland, but things have slowly cleared themselves away. It's looking pretty good. Still the cloud to the outside in Auckland. As you can see, it isn't too bad. We got the shot. There it is. This is the shot looking the Bayswater Marina shot, and temperatures dropping down to 12. Still the odd shower overnight. Further south to Hamilton, we've got a fair bit of cloud. The thunderstorm has moved through. Still some showers, about 9 for you by morning. And for Tauranga, looking at 15. You're dropping down to 10. Grey-looking skies south to Wellington. It isn't too bad. It's just scattered cloud. We're going down to 12. And for Christchurch, sitting on a mild 17. You're going down to 6. And for Dunedin, it's looking at 13, going down to 8. Our weather tomorrow, very spring-like. For some of us, it shouldn't be too bad, but keep the raincoats handy. Details after sport.
Thank you, Dan. We will see you then. Just ahead on One News, in the land of strawberries and cream, we meet a Kiwi finding a sweet spot in London and making an impact with her perfect Pavlovas. And the All Blacks put on a tri-fest in Argentina against the Pumas, so why are they getting mixed reviews?
It's going to go all the way. What a try. What a try the All Blacks run.
Welcome back. Looking at our top stories tonight, she fought for the families of those who died at Pike River and hundreds of other workers as well. Now, trade unionist Helen Kelly, who's terminally ill with cancer, has been promised by those she's helped that they will continue her work. And they still don't have the answers as to why their water supply was contaminated back in August, but Havelock North residents now have another fight on their hands. They're angry their local water supply is being used by foreign water bottling companies, with the commercial operators getting it basically for free. New Zealand entertainer Tony Williams.
All of that?
Yes.
Really? Yes, you do.
You can't argue with that when you've got a mouthful. Emma Keeling, One News, London.
Andrew's one comment during that story, startling eloquence.
Lost me at Pav.
I know. Well, they won again. No huge surprise with the All Blacks, though, eh?
Yeah, but, Greg, for a team that demands perfection, good first half, not so good second half, we'll have all the highlights for you next from Argentina as the All Blacks score one of the tries of the international season. But what will be bugging the coaches before they head off to Durban next weekend? Plus, Joseph Parker negotiates his latest hurdle. Now, can he negotiate a world title fight? And in the cricket... Just when you thought there was light, the Black Caps batsmen find a new way to go out in Kolkata.
At Z, we love helping you, and him, and these guys, and Kiwi rally ace Hayden Paddon. We also love to bring you One News Sport.
First up to today's All Blacks test in Argentina, and a try-scoring burst has ensured their unbeaten streak continues. The All Blacks ended up winning the game 30 finale. Speaking of which, NRL League Grand Final later tonight could be a precursor. Melbourne v Cronulla. Cronulla have never won the title in their 50-year history. We'll have updates on One News Now and full coverage on breakfast tomorrow morning. Gregory.
Mr. Saville, thank you very much for that. Well, Dan's here now. Well, the weekend was a write-off weather-wise. What's coming up this week?
Well, we're going to try and salvage something for the school holiday makers for the last week of school holidays, but it's spring weather. It's going at a pretty fast pace, so we're going to get a bit of everything. All the details coming up after the break.
Coming up on Good Sorts in just a second after the ads and the weather, I'm with Di France from Redcliffs in Christchurch. Hi, Di.
Hi.
She's got a great story of how she helped get the Redcliffs Tennis Club back together. Redcliffs, of course, is a community where things haven't always been back together. So she's done a great job in rebuilding. I'm going to tell you that story in just a second after the ads and the weather. Hang around.
How's your little garden growing? Show it off at littlegarden.co.nz and we could show it off on live TV. Plus, you could be in to win every day. New World, proud to bring you Little Garden and tonight's One Weather.
Hello, quite a different flavour to the weather this week. Fast-flowing as opposed to last week, which was pretty much stuck in the mud. I know, of course, in some places the weather has been a bit rubbish for the school holiday makers. Some better weather, too, to come as you run your way through the next couple of days, mixed in with all the other stuff, too. The leftovers of our watch, parts of Coromandel and the Bay of Plenty, that'll be easing through over the course of the night as the main front, the main band of cloud there, eases away. Remember, behind it we had some showers. This centre of swirl here, the centre of the engine room, a lot of unstable air. And all that tends to drift across the country. We get into a westerly flow and that'll be bringing in showers, but still with the instability we'll be seeing some thunderstorms too. First front continues to churn through. Notice a couple of troughs, one there and one here. That moves into the northwest of the South Island through the night time into tomorrow, and then with the heat of the day a few more showers. A quiet looking day early Tuesday, and that thing there is late Tuesday into Wednesday, another fast moving trough. Here's the North Island. So we start off with some showers to some western areas. They get going, heat of the day, converging winds, and boom, like a gas flame, they really bubble up with some storms here and there. A few eastern areas not seeing them until probably later on in the day. To the South Island, remember that cluster of moisture to the north and the west. Showers to western areas tending to die away, and then with the heat of the day and converging winds, inland especially, we see some showers and maybe some thunder. Not as much, though, towards coastal areas. Here's how it looks then tomorrow. Some cloud around the coast. Inland, you could see one or two showers for the afternoon. Queenstown, Alexandra. Whereas onto the west coast, starting off with a few of those showers, those will tend to ease away. Remember that cluster of moisture into the north and the west, so improving as your day wears on. To the east coast, there will be some early cloud in a few places. Heat of the day bubbles up those showers, but not all places seeing them. It's more likely inland. Could see one or two of those showers, and temperatures reasonably mild. To the east coast of the North Island, we're looking at some early cloud in places, brighten up the skies. Remember a few of those showers. They could sneak in off the ranges by the afternoon, and mild, easily up to around 20 in a few spots too. From the lower North Island towards Taranaki, there'll be one or two showers. Get going with the heat of the day. A few more pop up here and there, but not rain all the time. It's more hit-and-miss type showers. Moving up to the central plateau towards the Bay of Plenty, a similar sort of thing. You'll see otherwise fine to start with, just that odd shower, and then with the heat of the day and that westerly wind kicking in, you will see some of those showers, maybe a rumble of thunder in a couple of spots too. And then working north to Coromandel up to parts of Northland, you will see OK to start with, just one or two showers dotted around, and then as you work into the afternoon, we will bring in a few more of those showers as well. Let's move down south to Dunedin, where the day starts off OK. Tuesday, just some of that morning cloud, bright in the skies. You're otherwise dry, but inland there could be some showers. Maybe you're heading off for the day with the kids or something. Just bear those in mind. For Christchurch, looking pretty good, bar just some early cloud. Those showers off in the distance, they're some of the ones that'll pop up inland through the afternoon. Maybe even some thunder there, but in town we are dry. Wellington seeing perhaps just that risk for the odd shower, but most of these should tend to die away as you go into the late afternoon and evening. And they're not all day, they're just hit and miss. Hamilton, similar sort of thing. Get into the afternoon, you will see some showers here and there, maybe a rumble of thunder and 18, and a pretty similar thing for Tauranga. A dry-looking start, odd shower into the afternoon. You will see a few more of those come in with that westerly. Auckland has the similar sort of thing. 1 or 2 showers, some dry weather in the middle of the day, and then a few more pop up as you go into the late afternoon. Let's run our way through the next couple of days, looking at the week. So Tuesday, as I say, is a drier day, a brief ridge day until the late evening into the night. That's another more active trough, strengthening the northerly, and some good westerlies really wrap in behind. These are the wind arrows. You can see the little flow there. That thing pushes through. Strong gusty winds, westerlies. Watch for those in some places. Going into Wednesday, Thursday, another trough. You need a scorecard this week to keep an eye on the different troughs, and you think, that's Thursday. Another more pronounced low brings in a spell of rain across a good part of the country. And then Friday, we push this thing through, and a hint. The weekend, maybe something drying out for the weekend, but we'll see for the time being, several days away. Here's Australia, showery to the southeast, better towards central areas. And to the Pacific Islands, most are in good shape. You just see 1 or 2 showers, perhaps towards the Cooks, but in fine-looking shape. So it's a mixed week, Greg. There is some rain, there's some fine weather for the school kids, but it's fast-moving, just like spring.
I'd give that a C+, actually, weather-wise, Dan. Thank you very much for that. Well, tonight's good sword is Diane France.
Hayden Jones, One News.
And that's the News Hour for Sunday. Remember, you can keep right up to date with any developments on our stories tonight on our website, onenewsnow.co.nz. From the 6 o'clock news team, thank you for watching. Good night.